Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Titleless Musings, and this is the second part of the Enhypen Fall 2025 D-Icon unboxing. As a reminder, if you missed the first episode, we unboxed the Golden Age magazine, which was set A. This is set B. Now, again, I got the J version, I got it for Christmas, so I'm gonna be showing it to you guys. Again, I did also open these. I couldn't lie, I had a bit of a sneak peek on Christmas evening. But I'm going to be showing them to you as if they were unopened, so all you're missing really is the product tears. But as per usual, let's get straight into the photobook unboxing. So with Golden Age, that was a daytime theme, whereas this one is more of a nighttime theme. So we're going to be going through the whole photo book. I will put an obligatory kind of mention that I preferred the Golden Age pictures, but obviously I'm going to try and review these as objectively as possible. Oh yeah, as you've seen from my edit that I popped up on screen, I have no idea why this is blurry. I don't have autofocus on my camera. I am actually testing a new tripod, so I'm really sorry. I don't understand why it films so blurry. I tried filming it a second time, by the way, just so that, like, it's not like, oh, I gave up. I actually filmed it a second time, and it was still blurry, so I'm gonna be messing around with that off camera, literally. And I'm sorry that they're a little bit blurry. I did cut out the interviews for this one just because of that. If I ever get a chance to refilm it, I may post them in the community tab. But yeah, apologies for the malfunctions. As I said, I preferred Golden Age's pictures. I liked the theme more, which is funny because it's actually the opposite. In the 2024 J version, I preferred the dark theme. But I just thought that the day pictures did them all more justice. There was also a lot more photos I didn't like in this one, I have to be honest. With Jungwon's photos, I don't think that they were bad. I think that they were lacking variety, if that makes sense. Specifically, like, I'll reference Sunhoon's a bit later, but I thought his in this one were really good because it was, like, dynamic. There were multiple different locations, there were multiple different poses. This, it's like it's one room, it's the couch. Heesung's, I'm gonna say it for the Heesung biases. Again, I'm not saying this against Heesung, I'm saying this against the pictures. I don't think that this was the way to do Heesung's. It would have been nice to have some that weren't so color filtered. Every single Heesung photo is either purple or red. And obviously, I know some people take their D-icons apart. I don't, but if you were, or you're gonna like try and post pictures of it, it's really a shame that they didn't have some that weren't color filtered. Again, the photos are really good. I love this set with the piano and like the leather tank top thing. I love that. I think it's great, but it would have been nice to actually get to see more of him as opposed to more of a color filter. And that was just really a bummer because Heesung had really good photos in Golden Age, and I just felt like, again, it was kind of a letdown here. I also don't like these unit photos of Jungwon and Heesung. I just don't think that they go well together in these. I think it's, well, first of all, I think it's the outfits. It's almost like they were trying to do like a soft versus sharp look, and I don't think they pulled it off. And it's also just, again, it's weird photos that were taken. I'm gonna be honest, even Jay's I didn't love in this magazine. This one used a lot of blur effects, more so than my camera did. They do have a natural blur like the photo on the right. Again, I feel like it's going for an ethereal quality, but it just looks weird. Someone I was showing it to had talked about that, you know, a lot of the photos in this seem almost like they were taken by accident. And that's how I feel about these, because even the J ones, I think the J ones also suffer from what I said about Jungwon, where there's not a lot of variety. It's the pool or it's the sky, and that's it. There's no, there's no other locations, there's no other outfit changes, there's nothing like that. So it's a good photo shoot. I like some of the pictures, but I definitely think the Golden Age was better for Jay. Then we move on to Jake. Again, with the color editing, I don't understand. These are so orange, and I don't know why they did it, because, again, it's not like these men cannot have, like, the best photos that any of us have ever seen in our entire lives. They're all, like, model quality people, and I just feel like that this magazine specifically really did a disservice to that. I also didn't like Jake's outfit at all. I hated Jake's outfit in this. And again, like, I came into the fandom because of Jake, so objectively, I am a little bit, I do kind of critique a little bit more. I just didn't like the outfits. I don't like the color grading. At least with his, there was the offsets in the color. So there was the darkness, there was like I'm thinking the blue of the pool lights is what that is. And then like the darkness of his outfit, and then his face. I still think that's better than Heesung's, where the whole photo was purple, but again, I just think that the lighting is very strange. Sunwoo's in this were interesting because I really liked the vibe of Sunwoo's. I loved the outfit. Well, actually, I didn't like the shoes. I thought the shoes were weird. But I liked the set. I liked the vibe. That photo on the right reminds me of Heesung, though, which I thought was a little strange because, again, Sunwoo's got that natural charm. He looked identical to Heesung there, and I kind of felt that was a missed opportunity with with Sunwoo's kind of look. Again, not a lot done with his pictures. I don't hate his pictures. Actually, these magazines would convince me to get a Sunwoo copy of these, because I think that Sunwoo has good pictures. I just, again, think that there was a vision for this magazine that I don't know if aligned with what I was thinking it was going to be, and that could just be on me. That could very well just be Titleless being particular about what she likes. I also, this is going to sound weird, Jake and Sunwoo make sense in these shots. Jay, the outfit, and then also just like the jawline, he looks too sharp in the photo. And I don't mean like sharply dressed, I mean like he stands out where Sunwoo and Jake don't, but not necessarily in a good way. It's almost like he doesn't fit there. So I thought that was a bit weird. Sunghoon's, again, interesting. I don't love the curtain shots, but I appreciate the moving around the set. I feel like that was really well done for Sunghoon. The one thing I don't like, though, there's like water pictures coming up here in a second, and I don't like the fact they included the faucet. It's just, it feels like it was misplaced. It feels like it would have been cooler to just like have the crystal look of the water and not the silver look of the tap. Again, could be me being particular, but I just think that perhaps the composition of the frame was not as good. I like that one on the left. I thought that was good. It looks like they're having fun, which I do enjoy. Nikki's, again, I didn't like Nikki's in this. I would be so upset if I was a Nikki Lies. I have to be honest. Again, not a thing against Nikki, because Nikki looks great. Nikki looks fine. Nikki's not the issue here. The issue is that it's like, again, why doesn't he necessarily stand out from the background in the same way? They keep putting him in these bright backgrounds, but then overexposing it so that he blends in, where it literally then looks like the whole background is white. And that's weird. I hate this picture. This picture is exactly what I'm talking about. But like I said, it's not a knock against Nikki. The poses are fine. Nikki's not the issue. I didn't like that outfit either. But I think that, there were just missed opportunities. I think that's my biggest issue with the D-Icon this time around. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because when you buy the two magazines, you're getting more content. But it's like, if the content isn't great, is that really worth however much you're about to spend on it? I also wasn't sure about these unit photos. Again, they look really odd. A bit like Heesung and Jungwon's photos, or Jae and Jungwon's in the first one. Just interesting compositions. Definitely let me know what you guys think. These are the final photos. I didn't like the way these were lit either. But we are now done with the photo book, so let's move on to the inclusions. So I said it in the first episode, and I'll repeat it here. The inclusions in Evenmore are so much better than the ones in Golden Age. That's where I found myself really frustrated, if I'm honest. I preferred the Golden Age magazine, but then the Evenmore inclusions, and obviously, in that case, you're kind of left buying both sets, or at the very least having to buy the inclusions on like eBay, which are expensive. This one's interesting. So I didn't get season's greetings this year because I wasn't really vibing with the theme, if I'm honest with you. I didn't want to spend my money on that. I have other things that I've bought for the channel recently. So having a little planner was really cool. I love the little TMIs. It is difficult sometimes to read Jay's handwriting, but you know what? That is a completely separate issue. these I just thought were fun. It was really difficult to try and film. My only complaint with this is you can't, unless you bend the planner, you can't actually properly get it in its cover. So the book basically comes when you buy the DI or you get it. The book comes separate from the plastic. The book is just inside the plastic. It's not bound to it. It's not inserted in it. You have to go through and insert the front and back cover into the plastic yourself. I cannot for the life of me get the back cover in without bending it, and I don't want to bend it because I don't plan necessarily on selling these, but if I ever did want to sell these on and maybe buy something different, I don't want to ruin that. I want to keep it as close to mint condition as possible. And even if you weren't going to sell it, or again, I don't have plans to sell it, but you know what I mean. If you were keeping this, it would still then mean you have to bend your merch, which I just don't think is great. I will say I don't necessarily know if I'd use this as a keychain. What I was looking at on the back is I swear to God that is like a photo card slot, but I couldn't get it to pull open enough because on the back cover, on the actual back side, so the outside of the plastic, there's like a slip cover basically. So I thought that a photo card would go in there. Maybe mine is just stiff because I couldn't get it in there, but I may try it later and just see if I can get it to work. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to use this as a keychain. Right now I actually just have it on an IKEA billboard. A bulletin board. I have an IKEA billboard. Yeah, I've just hung it there for now. It's very heavy. I don't, again, necessarily know if I would carry this as a key ring, but it's very cool nonetheless. I don't want to, be down-talking it. It's very cool. I also think that the TMI is really nice. It reminds me of the memories. I unboxed step 1 and step 2. Did I ever get the second one up? I don't remember. I filmed both of those, the memory step 1 and step 2. That's what this reminds me of. And again, it's nice to have a little planner if you didn't get the Season's Greetings. I know actually as well, Season's Greetings sold out fast this year. So I know a lot of people probably didn't get it either. In the back of the book itself, there is actually like a note section. So basically, I'm trying to think of how you describe it. There's a couple pages where it's like the members' to-do list almost, where there's like they've written something at the top and then there's bulletin points. And then there's a couple more blank pages, and then there's like the end photos and like their little end messages. Again, it reminds me of memories. The only issue I have, and I said this with Season's Greetings, and I struggled with it all last year, the material that they use, you can't write on. If any of you have figured out like what pen to use, please let me know, because I would love to know. I have tried bulletin. I have tried ballpoint pens. I have tried fine liners. I tried gel. Obviously, that didn't work. You're not going to be able to use markers. It's going to rub off. I say I had this issue with Season's Greetings last year, just in case any of you have got Season's Greetings this year. I wasn't able to use like the little note inclusions because I couldn't figure out what didn't fade on it. So that's kind of my only critique, is that this is definitely more decorative than useful. Doesn't make it a bad little inclusion. I think it was actually really nice. It's a nice quality. I appreciate the fact it's full gloss. But again, I just think if you were someone that was like, oh, I would like to use this, you're gonna be struggling. Maybe a pencil would work on this, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you found something to work on this. But we're just kind of flicking through. Sorry if, by the way, you keep seeing like the background get darker. I cannot for the life of me get OBS to run properly on this laptop. It keeps using up all my CPU and then crashing, so I have to keep cutting between videos. I had like 43 clips for this one. In 2026, I am going to hopefully find a fix to that. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but we'll find a fix to it. We got it. This did take me a long time to flip through. I'm sitting here like watching the little time code on my Final Cut, and I'm like, girl, move it along. I also had issues trying to keep it open, which I also had with the magazine. Actually, the back of it, the binding is great, but it makes it very hard to hold open to review. So if you are like looking at some of these and you're having a hard time reading them, I do apologize. I tried to kind of adjust my grip on these. We're now at Sunu's. Oh, I love that photo of Sunu. I forgot to say that. I like that one with the stars around it, the Polaroid. I do think that these are really really good photos, because not all of these were actually in the magazine. Some of these are offcuts. Some of them aren't. I'm not sure like what made them decide one way or another, but again, you get a pretty good variety of photos. I think if you have a bias, I would recommend getting the member individual set. And my reason for that is because of the fact that obviously you are going to still get some group inclusions with these. But if you have someone specifically that you are trying to collect for, I would recommend getting the set. You still get the same magazines, it's just obviously the different covers and then the different inclusions. That is, I said it in my last video, or was it this video? No, I think it was the last video, that I wish that they did engine versions like this, and I didn't elaborate. My biggest issue with engine versions is the fact that you buy a specific member and then only one of the photo cards is guaranteed to be that member. In my opinion, it's like, I want the inclusions to only be of the member I bought. Otherwise, I would just get the regular album, which has everybody, because then I don't really care who I get. Obviously, that's part of like the luck of the game. But if you're buying the member versions, why would you not want the member inclusions? Maybe that's just me, but we're coming up, it's actually January 2nd when I'm filming this. We're coming up to the Sin Vanish release, and I'm gonna get the engine version for that, so I'm thinking a lot about it. Now we're looking through some of the inclusions again. I showed you the little photo card sleeve. I also showed you the film photo and the boarding pass. These are the Polaroids. They are exclusive. I love these. Love these. I couldn't believe it. When I saw 7 Polaroids, I thought I was going to get 1 per member. And then I ended up with 7 J1s. And, you know, it's like winning the lottery. It's phenomenal. I love these Polaroids. These are my absolute favorite photo cards. So we start with the unit one. Again, super cute vibes. These photo cards are gorgeous. I love these styles. I love the photo cards. I couldn't wait to put them in my photo card binder. I like the lip ring as well. This last one, though, is the best photo card I have ever had. I love the birthday tiara. But we are now at the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy. Please do remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel. Let me know what you thought of the D-Icon set. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.